Today we will read the Murli of 18th of February 1984. The Murli heading is Brahmin life is the invaluable life. So as we all know that Baba often highlights the importance of Brahmin lives. So this Murli makes Baba introduces the meeting of his with children and also mainly the double foreigner children has come to meet Baba. So Baba makes them realize how the present life is, the Brahmin life. So let us start reading the Murli and a deep dive within. Om Shanti. Today, the ocean of love has come to celebrate a meeting with the children who are always absorbed in love. Just as you remember the Father with love, in the same way, in order to give multimillion fold return to the loving children, the Father comes into the corporeal world to celebrate a meeting.
Om Shanti. Praful Bhai, can you share the Murli?
Is it okay if we just listen the Murli? Sharing is not possible.
It's fine. Fine.
Hmm. So Baba says that just as you remember the Father with love, in the same way, in order to give multi-million fold return to the loving children, the Father comes into the corporeal world to celebrate a meeting. The Father makes you children bodiless and incorporeal, the same as He is, and the children with love make the incorporeal and subtle fathers corporeal, same as they are. This is the wonder of the children's love. Hmm? So as we are listening the Murli, let's try to visualize. So today there is no Murli on the screen. So let's see, without reading the Murli, just by hearing, are we able to understand what Baba has to say? So Baba is specifically relating his incorporeal form and we, the corporeal children. As we meet Baba like he is in the incorporeal world, similarly, Baba has come to the corporeal world to meet us children the way we are. So Baba says, this is the wonder of the children's love. Seeing the wonder of the children's love, Bapdada is pleased. The father sings song of the children's virtues, of how they are becoming equal to the father by being constantly colored by the father's company. Bapdada calls such children who follows the father obedient, faithful, trustworthy, true, invaluable jewels. So why is Baba giving so many titles? Because Baba mentions earlier that Father is singing the songs of children's virtues, of how they are becoming equal to Father by being constantly colored by the Father's company. So being colored in Father's company makes us obedient, faithful, trustworthy, and true invaluable jewels. Compared to you, children, even physical diamonds and jewels are like dust. You are invaluable. Do you experience yourselves to be the victorious invaluable jewels of the garland around Bapdada's neck? Do you have such self-respect? It's a wonderful thing Baba is sharing by comparing ourselves to the physical jewels. And Baba tells that the physical jewels are nothing in front of us. Baba further says, double foreign children have the intoxication and happiness that, although they are very far away, Bap Dada has selected them from a faraway land and made them belong to him. The world is looking for the Father, whereas the Father has found you. Do you think of yourselves in this way? The world is calling out to him to come here. And what song do all of you sing number wise? I sit with you, I eat with you, and I constantly in your company. तुम संग बैठे तुम संग खाए हर पल मिलन मनाए. So again, first paragraph which we read, Baba was comparing us with the jewels. Physical jewels is as good as dust, but we, the jewels of children, as children of Baba, are victorious, invaluable jewels as a garland around Bapdada's neck. Second paragraph, Baba has highlighted the fact of we being children whom Baba has found. All other I have been calling for Father, and we are singing the songs of we sitting with Father, eating with Father, and constantly being in His company. This is such a big difference between calling out and being constantly in someone's company. It is the difference of day and night, is it not? There is such a difference between souls who are thirsty for imperishable attainment, even for a second, and you souls who are embodiments of attainment. Those souls constantly sing songs, whereas you are those who constantly sit in the Father's lap. They are those who cry out, and you are those who follow His directions at every step. They are thirsty for just a glimpse, that is vision, and you are those whom the Father has made an image that grants visions. Let them experience a bit more pain and sorrow, and then see how they come in front of you, thirsting for a second's glimpse or a second's drishti from all of you. So Baba has done a wonderful comparison between those who are seeking Father and the ones who have found Him. Further, Baba says, now you invite them and call them. When the time comes, they will make a lot of effort to meet you for even a second. And we are experiencing this. These days, there are so many institutions who want a program on meditation from Brahma Kumaris, but we have limitation of time, resources. and we are not able to cater so many requests. So, this statement of Aptada is actually slowly being made into practical, but eventually, as Baba mentioned in the earlier paragraph, that as the um, sorrow increase further, people will be even thirsty for a second's glimpse of drishti. So yeah, that time has to come yet. Baba says, all of you have the practical form of being an image that grants visions. Amongst you children, too, you will recognize the importance of your elevated life and elevated attainment a bit more as such a time at such a time. Now, because of carelessness and being ordinary, you will forget your greatness and your speciality. However, when souls who lack attainment come in front of you, thirsting for attainment, you will experience more who you are and who they are. So again, interesting thing Baba is mentioning that probably we might consider ourselves as ordinary, maybe because we are careless and we forget many things. What Baba says in Murli. After the class in the morning when we do our daily chores, we are back to normal sometimes. But Baba is mentioning this that when this thirsty soul will come in front of us for attainment, you will experience more who you are and who they are. At the moment, because you receive many treasures easily from Bab Dada, you sometimes consider your value and even the treasures to be ordinary. However, every elevated version, every second, and every breath of Brahman life is so elevated. You will experience this a lot more as you progress further. Every second of Brahman life creates not just a reward for one birth, but for birth after birth. A second gone means a reward for many births gone. Hmm? You are the elevated souls with such an invaluable life. You are such special souls with an elevated fortune. Do you understand who you are? Baba has come to meet such elevated children. You double foreign children constantly remember this, do you not? Or is it that you sometimes forget and sometimes remember? You have become embodiments of remembrance. Have you not? Those who are those who have become an embodiment can never forget. Don't become those who have to remember, but become embodiments of remembrance. याद करने वाले नहीं, लेकिन याद स्वरूप बनो. अच्छा. To those who constantly celebrate a meeting, to those who are constantly colored by the Father's company, to those who understand the importance of all attainments of the self and of time, to those who constantly follow the Fathers at every step, to such long lost and now found obedient children, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Bap Dada meeting new children who have come from Poland and other countries. Do all of you consider yourselves to be fortunate? What fortune do you have? To come to this elevated land is the greatest fortune of all. This land is the land of the great pilgrimage. To have arrived here is fortune anyway. So, what more will you now do? Stay in remembrance. Constantly continue to increase the practice of remembrance. However, much each of you learns, continue to increase that. If you constantly continue to maintain a relationship, then with that relationship, you will continue to attain a great deal. Why? Mm. Again, let's read what is Baba telling. If you constantly continue to maintain a relationship, then with that relationship, you will continue to attain a great deal. Why? In today's world, everyone wants both happiness and peace. So both of these can be attained for all time through the practice of this Raj Yoga. If you want this attainment, this is the easy method. Don't let go of it. Keep it with you. You will receive a lot of happiness. It will be as though you have received a mine of happiness through which you will be able to distribute true happiness to others. Relate this to others and also show this path to others. There are so many souls in the world, but out of all of these souls, it is you few souls who have reached here. This is also a sign of great fortune. You have reached the Shanti Kund, that is powerhouse. Peace is essential for everyone. To be peaceful themselves and continue to give everyone peace in the speciality of is everyone peace is the speciality of humans. If there is no peace, what is the life of a human being? You have spiritual, imperishable peace. You can show yourself and many others the way to attain real peace. You will become charitable souls. It is such great charity to give peace to a peaceless soul. First of all, become full yourselves, and then you can become charitable souls with others. There is no other charity like this. You can show unhappy souls the sparkle of peace and happiness. Where there is deep love, the thought of the heart is fulfilled. Continue to move along as messengers who give the message that you have just received from the Father. Interesting thing. So Baba mentions here that mm, peace is something which everybody needs. So we becoming embodiment of peace. Baba mentions that we are spiritual, imperishable. We have spiritual and imperishable peace. So let us become the powerhouse and spread it. There is no other charity like this to make unhappy souls happy with the sparkle of peace. And thus we become the messenger. Further, Baba is meeting the Sevadharis, servers. The lottery of service makes you full for all time. By doing service, you become full of treasures for all time. All of you did number one service. All of you are those who claim the first prize. Are you not? The first prize is to remain content and to make everyone content. So, what do you think? For the number of days that you did service, did you remain content for all of that time and also make others content? Or did some of you become upset? If you remained content and made others content, you are number one. To be victorious in every task means to be number one. This is success. Don't allow yourselves to be disturbed and don't disturb others. This is victory. Therefore, you are such victorious jewels for all time. Victory is the right of the conference age because you are Master Almighty authorities. True serviceable souls are those who constantly have the spiritual vision, a spiritual attitude, and as spiritual roses make all spirits happy. So, true serviceable souls, Baba has given us the signs. They have constantly spiritual vision, spiritual attitude, and makes all the spirit happy like spiritual roses. So, for however long you served, do you serve as a spiritual rose? There weren't any thorns, thorns in between, were there? Do you always maintain spiritual awareness? That is, did you always stay in the stage of a spiritual rose? Just as you practice this here, in the same way, maintain such an elevated stage at your own places. Don't come down no matter what happens or what the atmosphere is like. Roses live amidst thorns and yet constantly continue to give fragrance. They don't become thorns while living amidst thorns. Hmm? What is he telling? Baba is mentioning roses live amidst thorns and yet constantly continue to give fragrance. They don't become thorns whilst being in thorns. So, being in thorns, still the bud turns into rose and not thorns. In the same way, spiritual roses always stay beyond the influence of the atmosphere and remain loving and detached. When you get back, don't write, "What can I do? Maya came." You are going back as those who are constant conquerors of Maya. Are you not? Don't give Maya permission to come. Keep the door closed for all time. The double lock is remembrance and service. Maya cannot come where there is a double lock. So, what is the double lock? Remembrance and service, and Maya cannot come where there is a double lock. So, towards the end, Baba is meeting Dadis and other senior sisters. Let us quickly go through this. Just as the Father constantly increases the zeal and enthusiasm of you children, in the same way, it is you children who follow the Father. Baap Dada is specially congratulating all of you teachers who have come from this land and abroad for service. Each one of you consider yourselves to have a right to love and remembrance personally by name and give yourself love in that way. If Baba were to sing each one's praise individually, how many people's praise could he sing? All of you have made a lot of effort. You have progressed well since last year and in the future too. You will continue to progress the maximum for yourself and also in service. Do you understand? Don't think that Bapdada hasn't spoken to you. He is speaking to all of you. Devotees are making effort to remember the Father's name and are thinking that the Father's name should remain on their lips, whereas those whereas whose name is on the Father's lips. The names of you children are on Father's lips. Do you understand? So, if you all have read yesterday's Murli, yesterday also Baba mentioned that the true serviceable souls are Baba, even if one child Baba keeps on praising day and night, the the virtues of the soul will not come to an end. So again, Baba mentions in the end that people remember, make sure that they remember God, they have His name on their lips constantly. But on Father's lips, whose names are there? So he only answers that the names of you children are on the Father's lips. So with this, we end today's Murli reading. Let's contemplate what Baba has to say us, and we'll start sharing later. Okay, maybe we can start sharing.
Om Shanti, Bajis. So Baba um, highlighted the importance of Brahmin life, how invaluable the Brahmin life is. So first of all, Baba said, the ocean of love and how much love Baba has for us children and how much we love Baba. And the fortune that we have, we are, constantly in company with the Almighty, and we spend our time with the Father, we sit with Him, we eat with Him. For that fortune we have. Like we, in fact, we sit in Baba's lap, right? So outside, the devotees, they are craving for excellence, whereas we fortunate children become an image to grant them that vision. So Baba see how much importance the time that we are going through, the Sangam or the conference age, because every second of this age is, reward of many births. So, so Baba says, we are not the one who remember, and don't, Baba says, don't become those who have to remember, but we have to become an embodiment of remembrance. So that's the takeaway from me. Thank you.
Yeah, so like it is very natural that once we uh, have something very important, eventually we might uh, lose the importance of it unless we really think of it that way. So again, in our case, we being subtle energies, Baba being subtle, we don't see that him in that physical form like others see for their gurus when they visit. They are like they do so many things to celebrate that. So yeah, if we can, like what I do is sometimes during my meditation, I just try to recall my fortune and what others are doing to find God, and God Himself has found me, and uh, you know, recalling the importance of the confluence age and the importance of our life as well. So once we do that, it really brings so much joy that any other happiness in front of that just falls short. May it be anything in the worldly space, any kind of excitement, that fades off because in front of this. It is just that since we are not used to remembering or be in this awareness for a longer time, we tend to come into normal consciousness. But the more practice we do, I think the more we will. And even Brahma Baba made sure that he did. There are many acts which Brahma Baba, like for example, he had his clothes hanging, and he used to feel that tomorrow I will be wearing the Narayani dress or Shri Krishna dress. Just a few days remaining, something like that. He sometimes used to even dance in the super senses joy. So I think in the initial part, Baba was just trying to make us aware, and especially uh, in this Murli, if we see, he's meeting the double foreigners. So uh, Baba probably wanted them to realize that this is just not a normal meeting, but a very special meeting which one should cherish of having met with Baba, the incorporeal father. So yeah, I think as the title of the Murli says that Brahman life is invaluable life. I think even if we remember this, uh, you know, becoming a light stage is not very difficult. It's very easy for us to sustain that stage longer, in my opinion. Shanti.
Yeah, thank you. Rasulullah. And like you rightly mentioned, the all these points are like food for thought for us to think through and then get intoxication through that thoughts. So that will definitely encourage us and also fill us with so much of positive energy within us. So that will sustain us, throughout. Also help us in difficult situations, when we think of these points, we will get, I mean, that will help us to forget some of the challenging situation that we may be going through. So big thanks to Baba for doing or giving us this variety Murlis and the variety ways to think through during the day. Yeah, thank you.
So one thing in the Murli which really Baba often says, even in Sakar Murlis, um, and this time Baba reiterated this couple of times in today's Murli, of we getting to know our importance more as we go ahead, because as we go ahead we will start seeing comparison of ourselves with others. So like I was just reflecting on this, like even these days, like people are like worried, like because of the attacks which Bharat is doing, and maybe China, the Pakistan might do, and things like that. So many people are having so much of worry. They are uh, looking at the social media and getting so many negative thoughts, or curious what next, what will happen. And when we see ourselves, we are so calm, because we already know that eventually what things will um, be like. So the kind of relaxation which we have versus we see others, that difference is notable to us. And that is when then, I really start thanking Baba, that Baba has given us such a good intellect and divine wisdom that we don't get shaken by any of these things. And Baba has mentioned, like in today's Murli, as I mentioned earlier as well, is that even to get our visions, for example, like people will be in the queues going ahead just to get a handful of peace from us. Uh, that is the time Baba will tell that you will understand how great you are. So, like why not have that understanding now itself, so that we can do much difference now? Because if we miss out to this time and we are in ordinary consciousness, probably at that time some of us, like who have not really taken much importance of our life currently, at that time we might have that regrets, oh, we have missed the purushart thing. And the ones which we have done, we will enjoy, those moments, that oh, Baba has already told that in today's Murli, or maybe in some days Avyakt Murli Club in the morning. We might not remember the date, 8th May, but Baba mentioned that, people will come and uh, take that glimpse of drishti from you. Just they'll be thirsty for a second's glimpse of drishti. So that time probably we'll remember today and we'll be so happy. So Baba, being a visionary, he knowing everything, he sees everything in a flash of second, what will happen, and he sees us in that form itself. Probably we might not be doing that much, uh, because of course we don't know what will happen, when will things happen. But when we read these statements, it really gives so much of joy, that what worth Baba sees us. Are we really looking the similar worth as Baba wants us to? So yes, quite interesting, these statements when Baba tells us. Any other point anybody would like to add on?
Om Shanti, brother. So Baba today tells about Maya. So we should not get afraid of Maya. So we are the conquerors of Maya. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, Maya is the weakness, or we can take that as problems also, brother. Challenges also Maya, or only weaknesses is Maya, brother.
Right. Because Maya can come into different forms. It could be our weaknesses, it could be challenges, it could be situations, it could be in the form of we procrastinating things, we having this carelessness, which Pava mentioned in today's Murli. So there are different ways. Just give me a second. Yeah. So in order to become victorious, we have to make sure that we have that clarity of when Maya comes and when Maya attacks. And that is very tricky because after things happen, we realize, oh, this was our weakness. This is when Maya came. And sometimes I really feel that this is the like ping pong game. Each day, Baba gives us energy, and somewhere during the day, some in some form Maya comes and we forget Baba, and then he tells, "Oh, children, you should remember me." So this ping pong will happen unless our stages, comes at a equilibrium. If a ball tosses up and down or left or right, there will be a stage when the ball will become a constant, where there is no force, no pressure, and the ball will rest at peace. So I think that stage of us eventually, each one of us will have that equilibrium uh, someday or on some form. Maybe some may have a better one. Some ball will be placed at the very center. Some may be inclined towards the left. Some may be towards the right. Each one of us have that different stage. But yeah, until we reach that stage, uh, we have to deal with this ball, getting up and down. But again, that should be with happiness because it should not become like a tug of war, like we getting stressed out. My God, how much I have to do Purusharth or how much I have to remember Baba. If it becomes that way, sooner or later we might leave Baba. But each day we take it as a challenge. Okay, today we might get hit by Maya or some situation might come. Let me see how can I retaliate to that. So with that positive energy, if we start our day, I think uh, the we can have a more inclination towards Baba's remembrance. So yeah, it's every day we read Murli and some of the other thoughts Baba gives us, which helps us tackle Maya's ball in the right direction.
Yeah, one interesting point when Baba met the Sevadaris, so Baba said, the spiritual vision and spiritual attitude. So there Baba says the example of rose, a spiritual rose. I mean, the rose is living in the midst of thorns, yet, constantly continue to give fragrance around. So this actually, this point help us to deal with, especially on the field of service, and also when we are out there in the our day-to-day work, when we mingle with the people around. A very interesting point. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, spiritual rose is one. And Baba mentions that the rose, although it is within the thorns, it doesn't take the properties of the thorns. It knows what it has to do. Because generally, if we go by logic, majority wins. So thorns should make a thorn, but that is not the case. So even we are those spiritual roses amidst so many other peoples who don't even know Father, our divine Father, or not on the spiritual path. So, that could be a reason where people can say that, oh, there are so many negative energies, forces. How can I follow this? But this is a beautiful example which Baba gives, which, in spite of situations being odd, we can still blossom. So, yeah, wonderful point. We have on the chat, we are constantly colored by the Father's company. We are obedient, faithful, trustworthy, and true, invaluable jewels. Compared to us, even physical diamonds are dust. Wonderful point Baba mentioned today, this analogy as well. Fourth point is we are victorious, invaluable jewels of uh, garland around Baba's neck. Devotees constantly sing songs, but we constantly sit in Father's lap. Wonderful. Okay, so I think with this, let us wind up today. Let us quickly get into the mode of the last point which Vijit Bhai shared on the spiritual roses. Let us visualize ourselves as a beautiful rose flower which has the beauty of spirituality, who has a beautiful aroma, fragrance. Wherever I go in the day, I spread the fragrance of Baba's love and peace. I also know that I may encounter a few other thorns on the way. Some thorns may try to prick me, some thorns may try to disturb the environment or even my thought process. Some thorns could be responsible for bringing down my fragrance, but this rose, the spiritual rose, has been flown none other but to God Himself. And the rose which has been developed by Godfather Himself can never decay. This rose will always blossom, will always be fragrant, will always give love to others. Rather, it will convert the other thorns into roses. So I, the spiritual rose, will be in this awareness throughout until I sleep in the night and spread the happiness and love throughout the day. Om Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great, beautiful day. Om Shanti.